So, gaming habits. We all have them.
Let's talk about some of ours.
Hi, I'm Jake.
And I'm Luke.
Welcome to Pixel Talk. Alright, so today we are going to be talking about weird gaming habits. We all have them.
We all have some. Some
Yeah.
of them more strange than others.
Some a little more strange.
Some of them are kind of like, while others are kind of like,
Yeah, and for example, like you might think, like, what do you mean by gaming habits? Well, for instance, for me, I have probably a gaming habit that most people don't have, and that is switching the camera on any camera-controlled game to dual inverted.
Yeah, you're like a weirdo.
I'm not a weirdo. It's just the way I do. And the way I do, it has a very specific reason why I do this. It's because when Final Fantasy XII came out in 2006, it was the best game I would ever play in my life. Honestly, I love that game to pieces. I still do.
It was life-changing for you.
It was life-changing. I'm crying. Oh, it was so good. And that game came out with dual inverted controls, and you could not change them at all.
Not even an International Zodiac job system.
No? Oh my gosh. Oh, too good to cry for. Oh, you could not change them. Final Fantasy XII was special because you had to play dual inverted if you wanted to be good.
So for each game past that, like in your gaming life, you always have to do dual inverted.
I always
so
do
not
dual
not
inverted.
even just like, okay, inverting the y-axis I can understand.
Yeah.
But you do both.
No, I gotta like. All right, what I do. So if I press the camera stick down, I look up. If I press the camera stick up, I look down. If I press the camera stick right, or left, then I'll look right. I'll look right. If I press the camera stick right, then I'll look left.
Like you're flying a goddamn airplane.
Yes. An airship.
A Final Fantasy airship.
Yes. And
Okay.
actually, the only games that I don't do that in are third-person shooters. Because when I'm shooting, I like to have regular controls. So like Resident Evil 4, I like to not invert the controls.
Like I imagine that would be weird with
Because imagine you're Leon, and then you press down, and then you go up. That's weird. I don't like that. Like, that's crazy.
not even so for like first-person shooters you don't do that.
First-person shooters.
I imagine that would be weird with like a mouse.
Yeah, for a mouse, I don't dual invert because it's a mouse. It's not a C-stick. For a mouse, I press up to look up, I think. Wait, let me see. So I'm like playing. Yeah. That's what I do. So it's hard to tell. I don't actually think about it. A mouse is so intuitive to me that I don't even have to think about it. But for all controller-based games, I do invert the controls.
Okay, fun fact: everybody who dual inverts the controls touches themselves every night.
I do.
Okay, moving on.
All right. So
I'd like to talk about one of my like interesting gaming habits.
on what is that?
So whenever I'm playing a shooter, no matter what capacity of ammo that I have,
Yeah.
if it could be like I'm down 30 bullets, I'm down 1, I have to reload it.
Me too, actually. We share that.
Like if I just shoot 1 bullet, I have to reload it
Well,
again.
not mid-combat, right?
Even mid-combat.
Okay, that's a little bit weird. What I do is like, all right, say I'm playing Overwatch, and you know how Genji's got, what does he have, like 12 shurikens that he can use?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'll throw 3, and then I'll miss, and then as I go back and retreat, I'll just reload instantly. I think it's kind of common. I mean, I'm sure not everybody does that. Like, I'm sure some people like to let it completely deplete and then refill. But I like to be at full too.
It's just some like weird paranoia I have that I'm not going to have enough ammo for the next enemy that I'm about to kill.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I just shoot 1
Yeah.
bullet, I have to reload that.
You have to reload
I have to reload it. I have to
Reload
put
it.
another loaf of bread in my gun.
Mm-hmm.
Just shoving that. I have to shove.
Is that like another?
that Italian loaf up my gun?
Is that like another word for nerfing your gun?
Yeah, nerf this
Gun.
gun.
Okay.
Just shove a loaf of bread in it.
So, now that you've talked about one of your gaming habits, I would like to talk about one of mine. And I don't know if this is like a really, really weird thing. There's another camera-based one. If I'm like standing still or if I'm walking around in a game, I try to like rotate the camera stick so it's always giving like the most cinematic angle. And I do this a lot in Final Fantasy XIV. If I'm just running, I try to like sort of get like an up view so you can see the sky as you're running.
I do that too. I
like
did that a lot in the Fallout 3 and 4.
Yeah?
Like, you know how you can change it from first to third person?
Yeah, like in Skyrim too.
So,
yeah.
I use the third person camera exclusively for those like cinematic shots where I'm
Yeah.
just walking down the wasteland.
Mm-hmm. And not to bring this back to Final Fantasy, but the reason I started doing that, and I know I'm like the guru here, but like in Final Fantasy X, the game does that for you automatically because you don't have control of the camera at all in FF10. And it would just like as you're walking with Tidus, and suddenly like you're going down the B-Side High Road, and the camera will go like vroom and look up at you, and you can like get this upshot of like the scenery behind you. It was so cool, and I wanted to emulate that in all like camera controlling games. So yeah.
I feel you. I think that's another habit we both share. Here's another one you may share, and what some of our audience may share. I always save multiple times. Not like over the course of a game, but when I save my game, especially after the boss fight, I have this paranoia that
it didn't save right.
It didn't save right, so I saved multiple times.
Yeah, I kind of feel you with that. Especially that happens. It's something I do a lot in Pokemon. After I catch a Pokemon that like a legendary, because you know how every Pokemon game has like its title legendary. That's when that's like usually the first legendary that you get in that game because you get it in the story, like usually before the 8th badge or something. And that's when I start rapid saving. And every legendary I get, I'm always not sure if it really saved. Or I have like, all right, maybe in my head I saved.
But I didn't really save.
Because
you know it's happened to you once where you're sure you saved, but you didn't save.
You didn't save. Yeah, I could say that. I have another habit that's slightly related to that, although you might not have this habit unless you're a content creator, and if you are, then you might. This is something I developed when I was doing LPs, which I still do, but when I am saving a game after a video, I nowadays, after so many bad times...
You increment save?
I increment save, where I will save... Like, if I save on slot 1 at the beginning, or at the start of the video, and I'm like, alright, what if this video messes up? I don't want to have to replay, like, the past 25 hours to get back to where I was. I'll then save on slot 2, and that'll be my fail-safe save. And that is the save that is fail-safe, hence it's a fail-safe save. And then if it has happened where I have messed up, and then I can go back to that one. But then, when I'm recording the other one, instead of, if I haven't uploaded that video yet, then I'll have to save on slot 3 and 4 and keep going down like a ladder, and then eventually I start repeating them. But it's very bad on a memory card.
You know, I sometimes increment save, but it's not for like content creator reasons. It's if there's like a really cool boss battle that I really want to fight again.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I do that too. It's like, oh, I love this part. Too bad it's not repeatable.
In fact, my old friend Jordan, he was when we were like big into Kingdom Hearts. He increment saved every single Organization 13 boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 2.
That was before you could do the data rematches.
Yeah, because we were so thirsty for final mix.
Yeah. And
we wanted that like boss rematch thing, and so that was the best we could do until we got final mix.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean that's a nice thing to do. I remember I did that a lot during like Final Fantasy 12 and 13. And a lot of the later ones where I actually like knew that it would like I probably wouldn't. Well, 12 I play all the time, but 13 like I know when I play it I probably won't go back for a while. And it's hard to replay, so I just want to, like, if I want to redo, like, the Bartandalus fight, I just have a save right there. I can do it. And actually, that's how I practiced and got really good at the fights, because they're a lot based on practice. So.
Oh, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. I have a gaming habit that I know you probably won't agree with. I turn subtitles off.
Let's talk about that one.
Not all the time. It depends on, like... Depending on like if other people are in the room, I like to have subtitles on just in case they can't hear it. If it's loud in the room, like if I have the AC going, I turn it on. But in general, I find games a bit more immersive when I'm not reading subtitles.
I will agree, except a lot of times, and games can be particularly bad about this, is balancing the background music with the voice acting. Sometimes like the music will be so overpowering over the voice that you can't hear it well. And that is, like, actually it's a problem I noticed in Final Fantasy 13, near the end cutscenes. The music is so loud, like, you couldn't hear Saz. It's like, alright.
I can understand that.
Yeah, so then I get paranoid that, alright, maybe this is going to happen in this game. I might as well just put the subtitles on. And I'm very used to having subtitles on in games in general. Like, even in The Last of Us.
Because oftentimes that's the default setting.
Yeah, so even in The Last of Us, I think they came default off. I had to turn them on, because I got so used to it.
Although, if you're a content creator... Yeah. Keep those subtitles on.
Oh yeah, keep them on because you're going to be commentating, giving commentary and stuff, like in a Let's Play or something. And if you're talking over a cutscene, people are already getting kind of annoyed that you're talking over a cutscene, even though I think it's the right thing to do. Keep those subtitles on so they can read it.
Shit on.
Yeah, totally.
Unless you want to rely on YouTube's broken
oh my
closed
gosh,
caption.
those things are so bad. Yeah. I mean, they're awesome. I love using them.
I mean, they're getting better, but it's funny.
Yeah. I mean, they're not getting that much better. They're really not. But
They're not. They're not.
Mm-hmm. So, do you have any other gaming habits that are weird? I could think of maybe a couple, like, strictly within MMOs.
Go on and share that.
All right. So, within MMOs, I play a healer a lot. I like to play White Mage. And this is actually a very bad gaming habit that I should not do. But I like to throw a bunch of regens. And if you don't know what a regen is, it's like you heal and then it keeps healing over time. They call it a hot. Because it's like a heal over time, you know?
A hot. A steaming hot.
It's a steaming hot heal. And basically, it can be very annoying for tanks. Because when a tank is like wanting to move on to the next pull, I've just thrown a big regen on them, so they're gaining a lot of HP over time, even if they're at full health, which is already a bad idea. But still, they go on to the next group of enemies. They pull it, and then suddenly they all come rushing after me, the healer, because the enemies are sensing the aggro from my regen heal. And so before the tank has a chance to do anything,
it goes after you.
It goes after me, and then I get shredded.
Not like the good kind
Not the good kind of shredded. I get the bad kind of shredded. And that is a bad habit that I am still slightly getting over. If you've played, like, this could even apply to, like, non-MMO games, I guess. Like, most RPGs that have any sense of AI with the enemies, which should be most of them, the enemies tend to go after the one who's healing. Just because that's strategy, you know?
Yeah.
You want to protect your healer, but the enemies are going to want to attack your healer to give you challenge. And so when you throw a heal and the enemies see that, you know, all right, this healer's doing a lot of healing, they're going to go after him. So that's a problem. And that's the double-edged sword of regen.
You can't get your hots right.
No, I can't get my hots right. My hots are not correct.
So, anyways, we hope you enjoyed this rambling of some of our gaming habits.
Yeah, this was a little bit of an unorthodox pixel talk,
but we would love to heal you.
We love to hot. We love to hot you.
We'd love to hear some of your gaming habits. So, if you have any habits, I would like to share. We would put them down in the comments, and we'll actually talk about them next week.
Yeah, next week, a new thing that we're implementing as of the next video is
this video.
This video, rather, we're going to be taking a look at all the comments that you put and featuring them and talking about them in the next Pixel Talk.
So, for now, get ready for a last week recap.
Yeah.
So, welcome to the first last week recap.
Yeah.
So, the idea behind our show is we want to create better discussions within video games.
Right, because this is, like we said before, this is a three-way conversation.
And we feel like a lot of shows that ask you to, like, oh, let us know what you think down in the comments.
They don't actually, like they'll read it, but they don't actually, that doesn't have an effect on how the videos are projected next time. And we do want to do that, so we wanted to have this discussion. It's a Pixel Talk. So we actually are going to take a look at some of the comments that you put in the last video and talk about them today.
So last week we talked about the worst collector's editions, and we got some comments from collector's editions that aren't, they're not bad, but they're, worthy of talking about. So
I think we should start with my favorite boy, Psychic Ketchup.
So Psychic Ketchup, hey Psychic Ketchup. So
hi.
My favorite collector's edition is Dying Light, which was a 250,000 pounds and included a custom-built zombie-proof shelter. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
So that's roughly that's
250,000 pounds. What does that translate to?
So I want to say like $300-something thousand.
Yeah.
So we actually had brought it up here, and it's I'm actually surprised we didn't talk about this last episode.
Yeah.
So as you see, it comes with a full zombie shelter.
Yeah, it comes with. All right, let's take a look here.
We'll put up on the video.
Yeah, you can see it. It's got that shelter. Is that actually like human size?
Yeah.
Like you can like use it?
And you get parkour lessons.
Huh.
Let's see, zombie survival parkour lessons.
Who's gonna buy that for a new IP?
You get your face in the game, so they actually like take your face and put it on a zombie.
Did someone end up buying this?
I don't know.
Okay.
You get a human-sized zombie figurine.
Mm-hmm.
You get 4 signed steel bookcases of Dying Light. Mm-hmm. You get 2 Razer headphones.
Okay, that's not terrible.
You get night vision goggles and round trip to Techland. Party with Steve and the Zombie Consultant. Dominate our devs in a Rid Be the Zombie match so you can brag to your friends.
That's a little bit weird. I wouldn't want to brag to my friends that I spent $350,000 on a single video game.
Okay, so this Rid Be the Zombie match, you play with the devs and they rig it so you win so you can get bragging rights to your friends that you beat the devs in Dying Light.
Wait, they say it's rigged on there.
Yeah, it's a rigged match. Yeah. So for £250,000, you get all this, which I would actually argue is kind of worth the money, but I wouldn't want to spend my money on this.
No. That's not... No. No.
Okay, so the next comment we have comes to us from our good friend and fellow YouTuber, Joel Villages.
Villegas, actually, is how you say it.
Is it Villegas?
It is Villegas.
Everybody says Villages.
I know, because everyone's, like, not aware of how it should be pronounced. Go on.
So, Joel posts, I got the Uncharted 3 Collector's Edition, and that came with a figure of Nathan Drake, a belt buckle, and his ring necklace. I'm pretty satisfied with it, and I used the box it came with as my accessory box.
That's pretty cool.
Haha.
Haha. Yeah, so that was, I guess, one turned out well, I would say.
Yeah, so I have it up here. I'll put it on screen just like the last one.
We're just looking at the picture right here on the thing.
So, yeah, that's a pretty nice box.
Yeah, I like the Nathan Drake. It doesn't look terrible.
Yeah, it's not, like, tiny like the...
It's not like that woman.
It's not like the pregnant, glowing woman.
Yeah, so that's for sure.
So that's a respectable collector's edition.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the cost, if I was into Uncharted, which I do want to get into at some point, I would totally buy it.
I recommend Uncharted 2. It is a fantastic game.
Yeah, I want to get that new one that came out, like the final one.
The fourth one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah,
it looks nice. So before we go, there's another collector's edition that I feel that Jake wants to talk about.
Oh, yeah. So, despite what you may think about the game, Final Fantasy 13-2 has a really great collector's edition. Let's take a gander inside. First of all, you have this pristine white cover, and I know you can't actually touch it, but it's so smooth. And alright, so it slides out, and you got artwork, the Amano artwork of Caius and Lightning on each side, and you open it up,
and boom,
you get some art. You open it up again, boom, the game. The full color manual, a track list. What's the track list for? Well, I'm glad you asked. The track list is for the soundtrack, which is right here. I hope you can see it. Oh, if you can't see it, I'm so sorry.
There's so much going on.
There's so much going on. It has the soundtrack, 1, 2, 3, 4 discs, 4 discs, and if you do it again, you open it up right here, and you got the full, wonderful art book, nice and tiny. But the best thing about it, it covers up like a book. You slide it back in the right way. I'm doing it the wrong way. And it just looks like a very pristine set that you can then slide back into this cardboard encasing. And then you still got the regular back of the box. It's awesome. I love it.
That's wonderful.
This collector's edition is so good. It's so simple, and it wasn't overpriced. It was only $10 more.
You know, for $10 more, that is a pretty good deal.
That is. You got the soundtrack for $10 more. Anyway, that's me out.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to comment below, what are some of your gaming habits?
Yeah, totally. You should totally comment.
You should totally comment, and we'll feature them in the next Pixel Talk.
Yeah, we'll be featuring them just like we did this episode for the collectors.
So, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
All the things fit to double your experience.
So, until next time, see you guys.
Bye-bye. Take care. Secret and safe. And don't get too close like this, or it's going to block your face. So just talk from the side.
Face.
Don't block your face. Don't block your face.
Don't block the face. Don't block the face. Can't be blocking faces.
You can't be blocking face.